Hello, welcome to this your channel, the Better Eurofan. That's me. Georgia is still a curious case inside the Eurovision atmosphere. In one hand, it is the most successful country at the junior contest, leading with 3 victories in their record, and also achieving very high rankings year after year. But in the other hand, it is one of the least successful countries at the senior contest, chaining participations without qualifying into the final since 5 editions ago. The last block, in fact, was featured by the band Circus Miracles, which finished last in the semi-final. Well then, these are two sides of a same coin. We will see now if the next artist will be able to break the disqualification record for the Caucasian country on the senior contest that was held this year on Liverpool. Let's go! For today's episode, I'm going to review the Georgian entry for Eurovision 2023, which has been represented by singer Eru with the song Echo. First of all, let's take a look to the biography and career of this young performer, who has already some idea of experiencing and being in a stage like Eurovision. Irina Kechanami, mostly well known as Eru, is a Georgian pop singer and songwriter coming from the country's capital, Tbilisi. She has been participating in musical competitions since she was a little girl. Very remarkable was her participation in 2011 in Junior Eurovision as part of the girl group Candy on the edition held on Yerevan, Armenia, from where they came out victorious in the competition. Curiously and by full coincidence, she was turning 11 years old when the junior contest was held. What a great birthday present and winning a musical competition, don't you think? However, the group did not last too long and they disbanded the following year. They will only reunite for the second time, performing their winning song in last year's junior contest, during the homage to all past winners for the 20th edition of the contest, which was also held on Yerevan, Armenia, on the very same stage where they got their second victory for Georgia. It is undeniable that coincidences are still part of the life of this girl. Although her participation in the junior contest during that time would mark a beginning in her musical career, she made a musical hiatus for some years, until resuming her activity in music in 2019 by her participation in the 8th season of the Georgian version of Idol, which was used then as national final to select the Georgian representative for Eurovision. She would not pass the auditions round, but that did not stop her, as she started to work in her songwriting skills, releasing her first single as a soloist in 2021. If that were not enough, she will make use of those skills, taking part in the composition of the song I Believe performed by Mariam Bigbava, who was the Georgian representative in last year's junior contest, where she placed 3rd in the final ranking. It is quite noticeable that the Eurovision world is truly a part of her musical career, but this was just the beginning of what will come next for her. After the epic failure on last year, the Georgian public broadcaster will change again this strategy, opting one more time for a national final. In this case, they will do it making use of the 5th season of the Georgian version of The Voice, being the first time they used a musical competition to pick the representative for the contest. And one of the contestants from the season was Eru. She will advance through all the stages of the competition without difficulties, reaching to the final show together with other 7 finalists. The final show took place in early last February, where the winner will be chosen solely by televote. The 8 finalists will perform a song of their choice, with Eru choosing to perform Euphoria by Lorin, winning song of the contest held on Baku, Azerbaijan in 2012, which is also one of the Eurovision hits of all time. And the truth is that she nailed it with her choice, as the voting results granted her the first place, therefore winning the season, and thus fulfilling the dream of representing Georgia on the main stage of Liverpool. Also joining to the list of artists who have participated in both the junior contest and the senior contest. After her victory in the competition, there was still pending the song that she will perform at the contest, so she immediately got on with it, together with a broadcaster and some renowned songwriters, towards the entry in a race against the clock with regard to Liverpool. 1 month and a half later, in mid-March, by the deadline to send the entries for the contest, Georgia will be the last country on unveiling their entry for the edition, doing the premiere of the song together with its accompanying official music video, featuring a contemporary and avant-garde track. Now here comes the analysis according to what she has presented in her proposal. The melody in this case is an avant-garde pop track, following the line of experimental melodies, as it has been usual on the entries for the Caucasian country, not only at Eurovision but also in Junior Eurovision. About the vocal skills from Euro, these are absolutely undeniable, proved throughout these years since her victory at Junior Eurovision with the Girls of Candy. Talking about the lyrics, it has been written by her together with the renowned Georgian songwriter Georgi Guganidze, very well known for being the author behind many of the Eurovision hits at the Junior contest, including each and every winning song the country has. On the other hand, she also has a particular connection with Euro and her family, as they have collaborated together since the beginning of her musical career, and is also the godfather of her brother. She has commented that the songwriting process was pretty hard this time, because of the short time they had to send the entry completed and done, and she herself was already emotionally drained after her participation on The Voice. About the context behind the lyrics, there was much confusion regarding to its meaning, so to avoid misunderstandings, she talked in detail about its real meaning. You shouldn't read the lyrics as a general thing. It is poetry and is very deep. If you look deeper into it, you will find more meaning. My song is about the process of finding love. Before we find it, we feel lost, but once we feel it, everything starts to tingle just like an echo. The gibberish part of it represents hearing inner voices and your inner feelings. Once you feel love, you become a completely different person, because you can see and acknowledge things differently. Reading the lyrics in detail, it is true that it is not easy to know what does the song mean at first listening, but after understanding the context behind the lyrics, you can see all that poetry and emotion she wanted to express with it. The message of the song refers to the fight for love and a manifest of faith, as she herself has said. In the end, each and every one of us are looking to love and feel love, as an essential part of life itself. Having reviewed the song, now I'm going to analyze the official music video released for this proposal. More than a plot, a conceptual video is presented with Euro and some contemporary dancers. In the initial chorus, she is seen with an avant-garde white dress, with its veil scrolling up to unveil her face. And at the same time, there are some other alternate shots of her, waving the dress with her arms, as well as the contemporary dancers dressed in blue, waving their outfits with their arms on legs. It comes to attention that the dancers have their faces covered with fabric masks, which has many gemstones in the outline of their faces. During the first verse, there are more shots from Euro, wearing another white dress with a blonde wig, and herself with another dress that looks like a straight jacket, in alternation with the shots seen previously. During the first chorus, more contemporary dancers dressed in black appear, joining the dancers dressed in blue, and following the contemporary choreography, while in the second chorus there are additional shots from Euro, wearing a red dress with fringes. The dynamics remain pretty similar as the song progresses, until it gets back to the initial scene of her, with the avant-garde dress at the end of the music video, with the veil scrolling down to cover her face again, thus finishing the performance. Making a summary of all the comments, the Georgian entry for this year is enigmatic and explosive. I can recognize that this is a curious and interesting proposal, following the avant-garde trend from the last entry at Junior Eurovision, by taking it to the senior contest. The only drawback with this proposal is the fact of being understood by the audience. I admit that I had problems to understand the song at first, so it was hard to predict if the public would get it properly. For the staging in Liverpool, it could be seen during the rehearsals that she will be at the center of the stage in a round platform, flanked by two vertical screens, where imagery of whirlwinds and storms are seen in the visual graphics. The white dress worn by Eero is less avant-garde but still glamorous, where you can notice some white fabric long tails that reach behind the two vertical screens. It is also remarkable the jewelry row intertwining her right arm and matching gemstones in her temples and her hair. Watching her live performance in the second semi-final, the performance begins with her singing the initial chorus, while her arms look tight inside the dress, like it was a straitjacket, reminding a little of the music video. With the first verse, she opens her arms, revealing her dress on its natural look, while in the vertical screens you can see many hands trying to cross them, and there are spotlights in turquoise. During the chorus, the visual graphics change to show whirlwinds and storms, which is related in this case with the maelstrom of feelings expressed with the search for love. The second verse is performed by her being bent on one knee, witnessing again the hands in the visual graphics, while the lightning is more dynamic, like simulating lightnings. And also there is white smoke on the stage floor. The second chorus and the bridge keep the same dynamics, until the peak moment comes, really noticeable with the lighting change becoming warmer. Eero performs an extraordinary vocal extravaganza, while there are quite intense wind bursts, shaking the white fabrics hanging from her dress. Linking with the context behind the lyrics, this part represents that love which finally comes, and is shivering like an echo, becoming then in a different person. By the last chorus, the lighting with the spotlights remains quite dynamic and warm, while the visual graphics are showing stardust, finishing the performance with Eero holding the microphone with both hands and being sideways to the audience. The truth is that I was surprised in a good way with this performance, I must say. First because it was a simple but well done staging loaded with meaning, and later because her overall performance was just perfect. I thought that she could have possibilities on having a spot on the grand final, but unfortunately she could not get enough points to make it, placing 12th in the semi-final. Once again, the result has been not positive for Georgia, which is chaining another disqualification for the grand final, and this time it has been a pity, because the proposal was pretty well done and well crafted. It could be noticed that she broke her back to present it just the way she wanted. But the saddest thing was knowing through several videos in the social media that Eero was inconsolably crying after realizing that she did not qualify for the final, with the members of the delegation trying to console her as they could. This makes me feel sad and feel sorry for her, because she really deserved to be in the grand final. But well, it is also true that like in any competition, sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. Shortly after her participation at the contest, Eero has moved forward with her musical career, releasing her first single in her mother language, Georgian. Despite the flux suffered on Liverpool, she still decided to get known as an artist by the public, having the intention of showcasing the work she has been doing on these recent years. So probably she will work on the preparation of her debut studio album. And you, what do you think about the Georgian entry for this year? Come on and leave your comments down below to keep enriching the discussion. And this is it for today's episode. Before I leave, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, enable notifications to be aware of the next reviews, and find me through my social media. Take care and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.